Hello everybody, I'm Conquering History Games and welcome back to part 3 of my Siberian Black Army campaign in her and Hearts of Iron 4, the New Order. So, the last episode, I hopefully remembered to put a comment in that video, but last episode cut off suddenly. That was my fault. I thought that I had cleared room on my hard drive, but I just copied some stuff over to another one and I forgot to actually delete it on my recording hard drive, so my hard drive was full, and so it just cut out suddenly. My bad. So I think that we've only missed like a couple of days before I hit pause, and you know, I've cleared my hard drive now, so it shouldn't be a problem. But only thing we missed is that Nixon vetoed the civil rights legislation, so we'll see where that goes. Okay. So, we are on the road to getting 25 political power, and then we're probably going to take our first coin flip decision. Let's see. I wanted to find something, though, without the timestamp on there. Okay. Here we go. All right. The Revolution's Book Balancer. Yawned. What more was there to do? What insightful commentary could he bring to the issue of the legacy of Makhno? Was the Assembly going to request Kalichenikov to determine how much it costs to hang up paintings of Makhno in color versus photographs? Ridiculous. Impatiently, he drummed his fingers on the thick binders of information gathered from his studies. Each commune had its own binder. Each village had their own folder. Each factory had its own page. Printed twice, of course, because the half-wits running this whole operation would likely ruin his magnum opus. Wouldn't matter if the materials themselves were made of the finest diamonds. There, somehow, some way, the Security Council would find some way to leave the pages ripped and stained. The Assembly is ready for your report about the economic forecast. I'll try to condense this. He presented a graph. Across the y-axis here, you can follow the green line as it climbs. This, companions, is a representation of the needs of the Black Army and communes, combined for simplicity compared to the total output of the Free Territory. You don't need an education to see. Things are looking quite well for us. Now, on to my next point. Hold on. Black Army, created amidst of chaos and authoritarianism, must remain an island of stability and pure liberty. True liberty, excuse me. We are going into conflict with other warlords. We must do everything we can to ensure that the Black Army will come out of it as the victor. Alright. That we will. We've got less. It's because we're training our troops. Our political power daily gain is going down more. Has Burgundy finally done it? Come on, come on, come on, come on. Alright, so the Mongolian Civil War. The Red Army stabs above all, from Taiga to the British Sea. So they won. Whatever that means. Okay, our raid was successful. We're going to see what we could use. Is that enough for us to build something? Let's go with the other industry stuff. Actually, maybe agriculture was the way to go. I hope I haven't gotten spoiled by how good the stuff is when from freaking you know, when you're playing the West Russians, you get a lot of good bonuses, especially to army professionalism. Treasure! We've crushed the enemy, and we got some more political power. Okay, so we got 75 political power. Let's go ahead and flip a coin 3 times, I think. So, for heads, we will do libertarian socialist stuff. Actually, no, because that's the monarch head, right? So for heads, we'll do libertarian socialist stuff. For tails, we will do heads despotism, because like the head of state, the despot, and tails will be for libertarian socialism. So let me come over here. There we go. Okay, and we'll go top to bottom. Okay, so first up, is tails. So libertarian. Second flip. Heads. That's despotism. And then heads again. Despotism. Okay. Here we go. So, yeah, libertarian, despotism, despotism. So first up, we want to expand civilian infrastructure. Oh, but we can only do one thing at a time. Shit. Okay, then I guess we'll just go with whatever our first one was, and we'll just do some re-rolling later, I guess. My bad. So let's try to expand civilian infrastructure. This is going to give us infrastructure, but who cares? Because the important thing is the industrial equipment. So yeah, that goes away. My bad, my bad. We'll try it again. There are 0 communes supporting our motion and 1 opposing it. Interesting. So Const is against the motion. Okay, so we're just going to try to always pass whatever we're trying to do, because it'll hurt us if we don't, right? So if we convince Cats, they're going to ask for something. They want economic autonomy. Despite being a post-capitalist society, the economy is an important tool, as important to the communes as ever. We have made headway in establishing total economic equality between all people of the free territory, but individual communes remain varied in their wealth. This is a lamentable situation, but difficult to remedy. Complicating affairs further is the insistence by some communes that they require more economic autonomy to attain the very equality we're working towards. It clashes with our values. This clashes with our values, but has some practical wisdom to it, and permitting it might make them more amenable to supporting our notion. So we could say it's for the best, and they'll support our motion, so it hurts with consumer good factories for 60 days, which means nothing when we have these few anyway. Or we could say we will not have another chance to convince this commune to support the motion. Yeah, so we'll just say it's for the best. So we're just always going to try to get our stuff to pass. Alright, well, they support our motion, and now we just wait 59 days. Okay. Well, is there anything we can do in the meantime? Focusing on research? Nah. Industrial investments. It's so expensive, the 75. What about over here? We got resource extraction, industrial capacity, hurts production efficiency gain. Our bigger problem right now is we don't have manpower. So I guess the factory stuff doesn't really matter. Like, it will eventually when we need to make more, but more guns and stuff, but just don't feel like working on it right now. Okay, in the meantime, let's try to keep an eye on this here. See what happens. Alright, break time in the Congress. And Brazil won the World Cup finals. Not as fun as when you do it in the Moe order. Man of military experience, served for the Union. This is talking about Stefanov, our potential despot, I think. He nursed 2 things, his temples and his flask. He took a swig. I hope there's water in your flask there. Don't want your judgment impaired. We're moving on to some highly critical discussion. Change is coming. We've seen our highs and lows, but we've always been here in Conks. If we weren't in Cants, we were still in Conks. Am I getting through to you? Something's got to give at some point. The revolution must progress. I could hardly consider myself a friend of liberty if I sat by while Russia squirmed under the boots of autocrats. The revolution does not take breaks. Man, I'm just trying to grill, or trying to drink. So we get our new focus tree. Revolutionary reconstruction. Ah, here is where it looks like we're going to have decisions to make. Despotism to the left, libertarian socialism to the, or excuse me, libertarian socialism left, despotism to the right. Yes, here's where we're going to be flipping coins. Okay. Now, how soon can we? Oh, very quickly. If we're at peace, let's see. Black Spring, winter is over, and the spring Rasputista has ended. We will resume the liberation of Central Siberia from its occupiers. Okay. Okay. Useful. In the court of the Mad King, freedom has been found. Partying like it's 1914. 1914? Is that really the year? Divert civilian production. Focus on research. Workers' concessions. No, 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 no. What up here is going to help with manpower? Do we have anything for that? Does the agriculture help with that? I forget. Yeah, we get a little bit more recruitable population if we could fix that. Also helps with the monthly population. So maybe next looting chance we get, we should go for the yeah, we should go for the agricultural improvements. New agricultural methods. It'll help in the long term, theoretically. What's happening? Why is this auto-save taking so long? Thank you. Okay. Who's even in charge here? Krasnoyarak, Nikolai Andreev. Authoritarian democracy. The clique reunited in Krasnia and mutinied. So this is made up of a military that was sent to defeat the Black Army, and then they rebelled too. But they don't have a focus tree yet. Alright. I guess we should go for the gray area first. Alright. In a perfect world, the anarchist society would come about naturally, as the popular reaction to the corrupt and unjust states that ruled over them. States that favored the wealthy and affluent above all. As things stand, however, it would seem that the people are more attached to their states than originally anticipated, and many of those states take issue with our existence. The communes separately cannot repel an invasion from these powers, and thus a centralized military is necessary if we are to survive. But is such an apparatus not contradictory to the fundamentals of anarchism? Furthermore, the central council that presides over all the communes, regardless of how democratic it is, not as also opposed to the ideals of anarchism? How far can we stray from our roots before betraying our ideological core? We should encourage these discussions and plot out exactly what rights should be allowed to the communes and individuals, as opposed to the central government. Alright. Waiting on that to change. War in the desert starts. 18 days until we're done expanding civilian infrastructure. So this is going to take 2 months each time. I probably should think, go through and decide, okay, I want to do either A or B, and then do the coin flip for A or B. Should be slightly efficient with my inefficient anarchism. Like, where's that poverty relief one? That's pretty good. Is that the, I don't know which one that is. Power the communes? No. Or is that civilian infrastructure? No. Which one is for poverty? Here we go. Civilian industry. So yeah, I could do like between civilian industry, which will give me a civilian factory and might help with the poverty rate, or military, which gives me a, oh, what's happening? There goes Croatia. Tito never wins. Winter has come to Croatia. Set the atmosphere. Okay, horizontal organization maybe, but I don't know. Civilian construction could be good. We'll need to make infrastructure later as we expand. Okay. Secure control? Absolutely. Absolutely, positively. Then up here, 7 more days. Alright, time to maybe flip a coin. Delegate Industrial Administration or Industrial Security Council. Okay, so like before, it's going to be the, where'd my coin flip thing go? Hold on. Where the heck, where'd my coin flip go? Alright, we'll get another one up. must have accidentally closed it when I flipped into the other tab. Okay. Alright, here we go. Yet another coin flipper. So, heads for despotism, tails for libertarianism. Tails! Libertarianism it is. Okay, let's get that up there. Which means we are going to do delegate industrial administration. At its core, communism is an ideologue whose whole purpose is to give the means of production back to the people. Giving a centralized government control of the economy is completely contradictory to this idea. In order to improve the efficacy of our economy, we should instead create an industrial council from several communes. Alright, what's the cognitive dissidence? This better be good, Stephen. Svetlana shivered, holding herself tightly to trap any heat that may escape. Yeah, Anton said, good enough to justify waking up the entire village to discuss. Stephen, a frail, pale man, led them deeper and deeper into the woods outside their community. A pack of 50 people followed closely behind him. Not too closely. No one ever got that close to Stephen. In their defense, it wasn't their fault that he would stay locked inside the top floor of his family's residence, tucked away alone like a discarded toy, only the building's library to keep him company. Here, we'll do it here. What do we do here? Svetlana asked, her being unfortunate enough to be closest to the man. Without a word, Stefan blew out his candle and plunged the forest into darkness. The people erupted in a chorus of protest and confusion. But it was not long-lived. The forest erupted in light once more, and the scene before them was plain to see. Stefan had taken a gun and stowed it away in his coat. Now it was pressed against his temple, his finger hovering over the trigger. The crowd drew a deep breath of shock. Anton muttered a prayer under his breath. I am a traitor. I am an enemy. I am an operative for the state. I must be punished. I must be put on trial. Stephen shifted his weight in the snow. Svetlana watched with wide eyes as the man rambled about the things he had read, how over time he had begun to subscribe to the old ideas of Bukharin. He finished his ramblings with a request. Shoot the man. Kill the traitor. The village looked at each other for answers, dumbfounded by the situation before them. She cautiously stepped forward. Stefan, no one wants you to die for that. You are free to believe what you like. Your beliefs make you who you are, and we'd be a lousy community to tell you to change. Svetlana took another step forward. Put down the gun, Stefan. Let's go home. Freedom extends to thoughts and actions. That's an interesting one. Reminds me of in Bruges. Yeah, not really, because nobody was pointing a gun at him already. He just pointed the gun at himself. Yeah. Oh, I could color the coin. Let's go red. Oh no, black, because we're the Black Army. Yes. So you'll see that at our next coin flip decision. These autosave checkpoints are kind of taking a little while. They kind of linger for a minute. The South African plan. Yep, we still got a bit over a year before things really kick off in this game. With Hitler dying and all. Oh yeah, I think Irkutsk has definitely got this. They're on the correct side of Lake Baikal for themselves. Who knows what's going on out here though in the West? But that's one of those things that's always a little fun about implementing motion. Oh yeah, we're still just waiting on that. Okay, let's prepare for a new raid. Let's go against the People's Revolutionary Council. We didn't beat them before. They just gave up. So let's see how we could do against them. Okay. Invest in infrastructure. I want the war planning. Oh, I can scavenge for loot. Nice. Always good. But I was about to say, yeah, it's always interesting to see who ends up in charge everywhere. Did Tomsk change color? Ah, Shostakovich is in charge. The humanists, or the gumanist. The People's Apocalypse, the nation of writers, poets, and scholars. Universities of tongues produce more manuscripts and manifestos than most people care to count. Yet one piece published anonymously has begun to spread controversy far and wide throughout Siberia. The People's Apocalypse tells the story of a faceless scholar's journey throughout the fall of the Central Siberian Republic, progressively encountering those who the author identifies as the four horsemen of the apocalypse: Ivan Zavoloko, Genrik Yagoda, Alexander Pokrishkin, and Nikolai Andreev. Awakening in Oryitya after falling ill, the scholar finds the people reduced to babbling madmen, clawing out their own eyes and pulling apart their scalps from a pestilence brought to the land from Zavolonko, poisoning his people with an elixir named Faith and weakening the body of the Republic. Chased away by the blind and corrupted, the scholar soon finds himself witness to the lands being set ablaze and the free thinkers abducted and persecuted by Yagoda as blue-faced demons wage war against the people. Fleeing the slaughter, they come upon endless roads buried under living skeletons, famine consuming the land from Pokrishkin's terrible betrayal, before finally witnessing Andreev's betrayal at Krasnoyarsk, piercing the... Krasnoyarsk is the bordering one. Piercing the heart of a nameless soldier embodying the noble republic. Condemning the four men as bringing about the end of the promised people's realm, the story ends with the land destroyed and all four being consumed by madness under the weight of their own evil, turning to stone as hideous reminders of their deeds, though it is left unanswered whether anyone will survive the end of days to remember what has been lost. Alright. Well... alright. Still better than post-Tabaritsky, Russia. Let's see here. Tabaritsky was just the one horseman, that's all they needed. Implementing the motion. Okay. So when are things gonna really kick off? It's gonna be like in late 33, 36, but figure we could do 6 more things here, maybe. Fair amount. I just gotta remember to always keep like 25 political power in my pocket so I can do stuff up there as soon as it's available. Alright, let's initiate the raid. They refuse tribute. Well. Oh, there we go. I delegate industrial administration. Time for another coin flip. Okay, so again, tails libertarian, heads despotism. You see I just changed the color. Here we go. Heads despotism. So that would be on the right. Collective defense requirements. It is a national security imperative that our infrastructure be improved. If we are suddenly attacked on a front in which we have fewer our troops or some like to front war, it's necessary we'll be able to move our troops wherever they need to be quickly. This will help stability, construction speed, infrastructure, whatever. Working together, there's nothing unachievable. Is this many heads are better than one? Is that foreshadowing more despotism? The map of Central Siberia reeked of mildew. The double-headed eagle was resplendent in the corner. It's old, but it's reliable. I brought out pins. We can mark out the different communes from here. I suppose we can go alphabetically. What's the status of Berez, Katerina? Less than ideal. We've been hit hard by the communists to the east. Ever so often, some bitter old man will cross into our land and burn it all to the ground. The Black Army has promised an increased presence, but we've got nothing of the sort. Diverting from Zelenogorsk is a possibility. Much of the industry there was left untouched. Thus became the pattern. For 3 long hours, the young Russians drew signs and stripes, painting a picture of a free land interwoven with arrows, goods placed across the frozen tundra, springing from place to place as the hunt for the perfect balance escalated. The man finally set his pen down and admired the work. It was messy but well put together. It was organized chaos, fitting for the free territory. Working together, there's nothing unachievable. Cool. Lost and alone. He walked through the lands under the control of the Siberian Black Army. He was often run out of town as a grifter. Night fell and he set up camp. He saw memories. He saw flashes of his life under the glorious rain. Glorious in quotation marks. Under the glorious reign of the Nazi Party, the camaraderie and nationalistic fervor that became a fact of life for the Reich citizens. He saw his mother, proud and beautiful, laid low by an illness that poisoned her blood. He remembered the doctor's face, sneering about her impure ancestry. It was the last he saw of her before his conscription. "Serve the fatherland in its army or die like the mature boy," the words of the Gestapo agent echoed in his mind. His father, a proud soldier of the Reich, was arrested for polluting the Aryan gene pool and his wife's Jewish ancestry. He got the news of his execution on the front of the West Russian War. Finally, it came to his victims. The brutality of the fighting in West Russia would stay with him for the rest of his life, he knew that. But it was the reprisal operations that truly haunted him. Villages depopulated by his unit, the men rounded up and shot, begging their families be spared. The women and children were locked in their homes and their churches and burned. He could hear their screams still, judging and condemning him. With a shout, his eyes shot up, and he looked around in panic. After he calmed himself, he packed up and resumed his journey. It will never be enough. Okay. What's going on with this border conflict? We should be winning. There it is. Successful raid. Seize all we can use. Ha ha ha. And agriculture. Before I forget. 9 more days of implementing the motion. Relics of the past. The recent raid has been a resounding success. But we must also think of the future. Okay? What is happening right now? See, I think the next coin flip I'll do is going to be on industry. The SNP holds on in Scotland. The light in the north stays a light. Liberal democracy. Even though I've played TNO a fair amount of times now, I do always forget. See, machine ends of the past. We got a film factory and a stability. Nice. I always still seem to forget that it's really slow until Hitler dies, and then, you know, everything happens. South African wars and whatnot. 3 days. Can we scavenge for some loot right now? Oh, we're already doing that, right. Whoa! Ah! It really is just so black. It's like there's a hole in the map. That's why I'm glad I have the white font. Help it stand out a bit. There we are. We're done. Or should be. Yes. Okay, so we will, I think, end this on me flipping for the new General Assembly. So we're going to flip on the industry, I think. Although some of this stuff gives feedback, political power. But no, let's do some industry. Because getting that poverty rate could be good, but also military factories could be good for, you know, either way it's good. I'm not rooting for either one in particular. So, you know the deal. Heads is despotism, tails is libertarianism. Heads! Despotism it is. So develop military industry. And is it gonna... Okay, are we gonna get... Okay, they are opposed to our motion. Dang it. Oh, well, I gotta go. Somebody's actually calling me, so that's sort of perfect. So we'll convince Kask. Is it the same thing? Commune can be convinced. 40 political power, huh? Alright, we'll think about it. I'm going to be conquering... You know, we've got to do it. We've got to get him to do it. So, anyway, I'm conquering history games. I'll see you around. Night.